going back to the point of how China is also benefiting from this project, I'd like to talk about the Malacca Strait dilemma that China has to face and how CPEC would help it circumvent this.
Well, I'd like to bring in the geopolitical aspect of this project, because for China, the Belt and Road is not only to double down on China's strength, which is global connectivity in terms of trade, in terms of the flow of goods and so on, but it's also to address the issue of national security. If we look at China depends on trade, international trade, and the import of energies, and all this flow of trade and energies are flowing through various choke points. One of the chief choke points is the Malacca Strait. You see, the Malacca Strait is very, very narrow. It's controlled by the US 7th Fleet. And then, of course, the Port of Guarda, plays a very important part to address this kind of choke point, because the goods, the energy can pass through the Port of Guarda directly through the western part of China without going through the Malacca Strait. And you can see that the Belt and Road, there are two parts. One is the Maritime Silk Road. Of course, all the ports and so on is part of that. But also there is the belt, economic belt, of which the CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, is a belt, one of the many economic belts. And these economic belts also serve the purpose of addressing China's security, energy security. Now, there's another point I'd like to bring in, following up on the points covered, which is the jobs, the creation of jobs. Now, the jobs are created not only directly by these infrastructural developments, but once the infrastructure is in place. For example, you're building an entirely new port. There are all sorts of businesses, all sorts of new businesses are being created.
And Mr. Andrew, just quickly going back to the Malacca Strip, and I just want some greater emphasis on why China is vulnerable if it relies on this. I mean, 82% of its total crude oil imports go through this strip. Why is that position making it vulnerable? Just quickly brief us on that.
Okay. Well, of course, this is the 7th Fleet, because we are seeing a 360 degrees of rivalry between the US as the existing superpower and its perceived challenger, which is China. And then you can see that the rivalry is playing out on many fronts, on trade, on technology, and then on the South China Sea, and then, of course, even on human rights. It's a 360 degrees. And of course, trade and energy security is a very important part of that, because, as I said, a lot of the flows passing through the Malacca Strait and that part, and then water, of course, is diverting when push comes to shove, the energy and various things can pass through the Port of Guarda to China.